Hi, welcome to Friday Night Chats with the Garage Geek. So I'm very sorry that I missed you last week. I was actually going to put out my travel video on the Friday night, but I just got really busy because, I was traveling. I was able to edit it, but it took me a long time to add in all the pictures. So I didn't end up putting out that video until midweek, and it was way after I had returned. So sorry, last Friday we missed a video. But we're back on track today. I've actually got a lot to share with you. I'm going to start with some of the stuff that I have because, I don't have enough. I got more stuff. So I'm going to share that with you. And then I'm going to talk about a very harrowing week at school. And also I've got some books to talk about that I listened to. And, my dog is going around. If he hits the table, this is going to start rocking. Angel, come here. Come on up here. Come on. And what else? I only saw one movie, and I may have even talked about it before. No, I didn't. So, but it wasn't very good. So, if you're sticking around for the movies, there's not going to be much. All right. So I want to share that SleepyReader 666, Damien, he sent me such an amazing package. And I'm not going to do this package justice. I should have given it its own video, but he sent me so many things that I wanted, and he was just saying, hey, these are in my garage. I'm not, or in his attic, I'm not sure. And he's like, I really don't want them. And I was like, yes, I want them. So he sent me, I'm going to show some of the things he sent. This video is going to have, like I said, a lot of moving parts, and I'm going to be leaning in and out because I got piles of stuff to show. So sorry if you, I'm all getting in your face. It's Halloween, so you're getting a horror story. Okay. Oh, my God. You're going to understand why. I have to pick this thing up. He sent this in the mail. This thing must weigh at least 40 pounds. I don't know. So this is the Fourth World Omnibus by Jack Kirby. Now, he knows that I've been trying to collect all of Jack Kirby's DC work, and it was put out in these really nice volumes. And I was so stupid. I've said this so many times. I was collecting them, but I didn't buy them all at once when they came out, just because of money. And I thought, well, they're graphic novels. They'll be out for a while. They were out such a short time, and then they went out of print. And I have only 4 of them. And SleepyReader, you were supposed to send me another one, but you forgot. Hey, I'm not complaining because he sent me this huge box of stuff, but I am. That's the collector in me. So anyways, he sent me this behemoth of a book. Look at how beautiful this thing is. I'm going to show it to you. First of all, once you take off the outer paper, whatever that thing's called, look at this beautiful wraparound cover. I mean, that thing is gorgeous. And then, of course, when you look inside, it's got Kirby bondage. What was that? So it's just, it's got Kirby art. So I am so looking forward to reading this. Now, I didn't buy this in omnibus, obviously, because I was hoping they would put this out in paperback, but they never did. I think they did release a couple of things, because this contains Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, The New Gods, The Forever People, Mr. Miracle. I think I have Mr. Miracle. And I actually have a couple comics of the Forever People that I picked up recently. But anyways, look at this thing. Now, that is an omnibus. That could really kill somebody. It'll break my back just picking it up. And then I am trying to collect all of... Oh, that's a bullet. I was like, is that a something on it? So I am trying to collect the Valiant run. They put out most of the stuff, I think, in these complete classic omnibus editions. And so this is the first one I got, so thanks to him. I really liked the Valiant when they started out, and I had all the comics. I gave them up. They're not very expensive to get, but it was just so cool. And this one is really good because it's the art's by Barry Windsor Smith. So I'm so happy to have this. He sent me some independent that I'm looking forward to reading. This is perfect for Halloween and it's short, so I'm happy. This is The Passageway by Jeff Lemire, but the art is by the same guy who did Gideon Falls. I love the art of that, and so when I opened this and saw that it was the same person, man, I'm diving into this weekend. Look at that. I can't wait to read this. Then he's like, hey, do you want this 8-ball? And it was like, cool. I didn't know. It was, look how gigantic this thing is. So it's an independent comic that I'm really looking forward to reading. And it actually has some things like Ghost World, I believe, was made into a movie. And Art School Confidential might have been made into a movie. So this is actually like really influential. So I'm looking forward to reading that. And he said he has all the single issues, which is why he didn't want this anymore. So yeah, that's so cool. And then he gave me another Brubaker book that I didn't have, Velvet. So I'm definitely, look at that. What a cool edition that is. So I have most of their stuff, so I'll be looking forward to reading that. Now, but the icing on the cake, which I'm not going to bring all of them over. He gave me 4 omnibus of The Savage Sword of Conan. Now, I've been in the back of my mind thinking, oh, at some point in my life, I'm going to collect all of these because they're not going to put them out. Here comes Angel. Because they're not going to put them out in Epics. I was so hoping they would, but I guess because of the adult content, they're not going to put them out. So I think there's a total of 8, so that means I have half of these now. Now, when I was young, my brother had some of these, so I have not even scratched the surface of this series, but I am so looking forward to diving in to this, and now I have half. I mean, when you look at this, I mean, the cover art on these things, they're worth having by themselves. Let me just show you one up close. Yeah, I'm gushing because this stuff is so cool. Look, here's one with, I mean, look at that art. There's Conan and Red Sonja. Oh my gosh. This is like, it was like Christmas getting all this stuff. So, Savage Sword of Conan, 4 volumes of that. And, oh, the other thing that I want to say is that I'm going to be on the lookout for the other 4 volumes. And I also need to get the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. I didn't buy those. I was so stupid. I should have bought those when they came out, but again, I was hoping that they would be put out in Epics, and they didn't. And those were the magazines. And there's also some horror magazines, which I think they may have published. So that's that. All right, when I went on my trip to San Francisco, I didn't say, but one day I went with a couple of people who were at the party, the wedding with me. I've been getting to know them ever since I've been, going to my friend's house because they're relatives. And we snuck out and we went to Berkeley for a few hours. And I hadn't been to Berkeley in I don't even know how long, so many years, maybe 20 years. But I used to go there all the time when I was in the military. I would just go there on the weekend for movies. I actually went to night school in Berkeley because they would take anybody. While I was still in the military, I was stationed on Treasure Island, and I would either take the bus in, and sometimes even my friend who watches this, she would drop me off. I still remember because she hated driving on the bridge. We were both scared of the bridge. But I was able to go into Berkeley. We only had a couple hours, so I wasn't able to go very long into Rasputin Records or Amoeba, which is a shame because I really wish I had time. But we did go into Moe's bookstore. Now, Moe's, I don't know if you know Moe's or not. I mean, if you've never been to Berkeley, why would you? But this is their symbol. It's basically 4 floors of books. So you go up the stairs and you come out, and each floor has a separate category, and it's so much fun looking through the books there. But they have a section of sci-fi, and I picked up all these books for $13. I was very happy. So I'm going to go ahead and show them off. I got this Baphomet's meteor. Look at that crazy picture. I actually started reading this one. It's an alternate history about, like, what if an alien came, and an alien who looked like Satan, who came and supplied crusaders with advanced weaponry to change the future. So yeah, I'm only a little way into it, but I'm actually really enjoying it. Next, I got this crazy thing. This was $2. Stress patterns. I mean, what is going on in this picture? What is that? And what did it do to these aliens? So there's like a human here. He's looking at this giant, like, worm snake. I don't know if you could see it, but there's like these little ball things with, I mean, they look like sperm tails. They're all pregnant or fat or something. I don't know what's going on in this. I had to own it. I was like, this is too crazy not to own for $2. I can't wait to read that one. I got my first Frazetta book cover. Edgar Rice Burroughs' Back to the Stone Age. More on this later, because I think it's in the Pellucidar series, later in the series. And I finished the second book this week. So there you get some Frazetta butt. Who doesn't like Frazetta butt? I mean, look at that. Oh, that's just an awesome cover. Look at it. Yeah. Oh, on this side, it's censored. I had this as a kid, but I don't know if I read it. But I was always fascinated with that image, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. And that's a famous quote. What is that from? Is that Shakespearean? I'm going to have to look that up. But anyways, look at that. That's a cool cover. I guess I'm going to have to read this book. And the last two I got these super old editions of two H.G. Wells books. Look at that. The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine. Are those crazy? Look at how crazy good those covers are. Wow. Okay, $13. Was my $13 well spent? You tell me. Okay, the last thing that I want to show this. So, I reviewed a Matt Baker book that I had got in the mail, and I think it was called Rusty Brown. It was so camp, so fun. The art was so cool. So I ordered another one, and it finally arrived. And he sent the shipper sent me a note saying, "Hey, maybe it might even be in here. I'm so sorry, but I sent you one." Oh yeah, look at how cool. He sent me this. Like, I sent you one, and it said that you never got it or something, and so I'm sending you a replacement copy. So I felt bad for them because, they obviously lose money when that happens. But who knows? Maybe another one of these will show up sometime, and I can send it to somebody. But I can't wait to read this. It's more of this Matt Baker art, and this is more along the lines of his Good Girl art. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading and reviewing that. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you, I have to reach for, so forgive me. My dog doesn't like it either. He's getting mad at me because I'm moving so much. So I got my graphic novel. I'm like off screen. I got my graphic novels and my comics in the mail. So I'm not going to show you the graphic novels I got, but I'm going to show you my comic covers because they're so cool. So I got two Alex Ross connecting covers for the Avengers, and I think they connect like that. If you could see, they connect. I think there's 5 of these, but these are the only 2 that I have. The problem is when I order in advance from the website that I'm using, some of the times they don't have the Marvel covers. I don't know, because they change distributors or whatnot. And so they're not always putting the covers. And it's a bummer because I've been missing a lot of cool comics. I'm in such heaven because I got I got 6 facsimile editions. I love these because they reprint these old issues that I could never afford to own. So here is the Flash number 105 with the Mirror Master. Look at this. Batman #1. Look at that gorgeous pinup. Look at those two. Robin is so happy, so is Batman. This is way before he goes dark. He says, yours for bigger and better thrills, Batman. And that goes double for me, Robin. And it says cut out and frame. If anybody cut that out and framed it, and they probably kicking themselves because this comic book was worth so much money. Next, we got a Detective Comics number 58. I'm laughing because this guy's got a wrench and he's about ready to pound Robin. I mean, that's hilarious. Robin. And then there's another Detective Comics number 140. So jumping almost 100 issues. And here we got the Riddler. Now, I'm going to say that is like the funkiest Riddler art I've ever seen. It's really bad. But who cares? It's this really old classic issue. It says, introducing a sensational new adversary of the partners in peril. The Prince of Puzzles, the Riddler. Come on, this stuff is so cool. And then 2 facsimile issues of a comic series that I really love. I actually have the original of this, the Micronauts and ROM #1. So I'm very happy to have those in my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down so that I'm not carrying everything. Sorry, I'm going to get off screen again. Okay, so now we got more of the modern covers. Here's a picture of the Joker. Now, this is very dark, but he's holding up skin to his face. Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but it's quite a crazy image. This is another connecting cover that Alex Ross is doing to commemorate the first issue of the X-Men, the relaunch with Jim Lee, and it had a series of 5 different covers that all connected, and so he's redoing those. Here's another Alex Ross. I really like Alex Ross. So this is a Doctor Strange issue. Here's another Alex Ross. It's very Wizard of Oz, like there's Toto. The thing is falling or spinning through the air. I'm not sure. This is a series that I don't buy, but I just loved that cover, 007. Yeah, loved it. This one is for my husband, Godzilla. Here There Be Dragons. This one is also for my husband. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And then this is another from Boom Studios. I only bought this for the cover, but look at that crazy cover. Like the rabbit is coming out of her eye. Look at that. Is such a cool cover. Oh, I have to show you this one. This is probably my favorite. Oh, by the way, let me know which one is your favorite. This is my favorite just because it's a gimmick cover. Okay, so we've got this cool image of Clark Kent changing into Superman. The artist is Mikhail Janine. He's a really cool artist. Yeah, but then when you open it up, you got that cool image of Superman. Now, what I don't like is they didn't take advantage of the back. Like they could have had the image of the Superman logo, and then when you open it up, it would be like they should have done something with the back. But wow, is that cool or what? One more time, everybody, the big reveal. If I can get it to do it. It's so awkward the way I'm holding it up. Okay, and then they've been doing these. I guess the artist's name is DNA. But yeah, a lot of the colors match, and I think I have one more of that in here. Let me see. Where is it? No, this one is similar, but it's not quite. And here's a Spawn. If you really take a look at the art on this, the art is so cool. Right? But this really takes away from it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a really cool. And this one is for my husband too. Looney Tunes. Here's another one. An Image comic I bought just for the cover art. Look at that creep show. This is reminiscent of a Perez cover. So it's like an homage of Wonder Girl. I think that's her name, Wonder Girl. Oh, and the final one is also an Alex Ross cover. Like, he's everywhere, right? Here's Thor, right? Like I said, I just really dig Alex Ross's art. Okay, so that's it for all the stuff I want to show you. I've got so much to read. It's not funny, but I'm so looking forward to it. So again, I want to say thank you. I can't thank SleepyReader 666 enough for that wonderful package that he sent me. It really is humbling, like how nice and thoughtful that was. Right? Because as collectors, we always, we want things that we missed out on, and he's like, hey, I've got these. I mean, that package was, if you added up, like hundreds of dollars worth of materials. Especially, and I'm not even looking into the fact that some of those might be out of print, and so they could be worth even more money. Anyways, it's humbling. So, here it is. It's time to talk about, let me talk about what happened at school. Oh my goodness. So I had one of the worst weeks, and I didn't realize, but it was mostly because there was this huge fight at school. I mean, and it was bad. I didn't know how bad. Okay, there had been a couple leading up to it, but there was this really big fight. And the reason I didn't know about the repercussions is most of my students were involved in it, and I did not know that. So for like 2 days, my students, they come to me after lunch, and it was after this, huge fight and all the other fights going on. And they were like so wild. It was like I was going insane because the behavior was just off the charts. And I didn't realize it was because of the fight. And I was like struggling. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I came up with a new behavior system because of that. I mean, I was just like, what? Like, I could not control them. They weren't getting any work done. And like every time I tried to control them, like this one kid started screaming at me. Like, it was horrible, like screaming at me like, you're a horrible teacher, you don't know that. Because I was trying to help some kids, and I had moved him next to me, and he was on this side of me. And he was demanding that I help him, but I was helping these kids, and he wouldn't take no for an answer and wait his turn. And he just escalated and kept screaming at me, and finally I had to make him leave the room. And then that same night that happened, I think, or was it the day before? I can't remember. But it was parent conference night, and his parent came, and I don't know what happened, but the parent jumped all over me. She was just like, I couldn't believe it. He had told her all this stuff, and he had like manipulated everything to make me out into, something really horrible. And I was just like, wow. And we were doing a showcase of work, and I kept telling her, this isn't the time for a parent conference. Like, we can't discuss this in front of everybody. But she kept going, and I was just like, finally, I'm like, you have to go see the counselor. She's over there. You have to go talk to her. But man, it ruined the whole evening. It was like, it was insane. And then I saw the video, and I'm not going to show it, right? I could probably get fired. I could probably even get fired just for talking about this stuff. I don't know. But the video was so crazy. This young student, she was walking to try to get away from a mob. She didn't want to run because she didn't want to show that she was had any fear or anything. And she got to the office door and was not going to get in, and they surrounded her, and they threw her to the ground, and they were beating the crap out of her and kicking her. And a lot of them were my students, and I didn't realize this so much later. And then it all clicked, like, oh, that's why. If I had known that, I would have done some kind of calming activity. I would have talked to them about it. I mean, but I didn't know. And so, like, the behavior just escalated because I had no idea that that's the reason that they were acting this way, and especially that one kid. And, like, just the whole week has been so stressful because the kids have been so wound up, and they come in and they're like, yeah, and I have to like get them calmed down, like even when there's no fight. And it's just been this crazy week, from having to stay really late because of parent conferences, having parents come in and be really confrontational, and taking the child's side when we should be working together to stop this behavior. And especially since I was one of the kids, in the video, like kicking and doing everything. I was like, oh my God. So it's just been this crazy week for me. So I'm so glad it's the weekend, because I sincerely need to detox. Like this week has been so stressful. For the first half of the week, I felt like such a huge failure, because I really, really want to reach these kids, and I'm very strict. Like when they need to read, they need to sit there quietly and read, and then they take tests on it and we measure their performance. And I wasn't able to get them to calm down, and it was such a struggle. But then, I understood why later there, it was because of the circumstances that were beyond my control, really. So yeah, it was just so crazy at school. So now that I got that off my chest, let's go ahead and talk about some of the books that I read. So let me go ahead and open my pictures. There aren't that many, and it's already 26 minutes. This might go a little bit long. So let me find my photos. So here we go. So I talked to you about At the Earth's Core. So that was the first book in the Edgar Rice Burroughs series of Pellucidar. And so it's basically about two guys who drill to the center of the earth, and they find, all of these cultures and civilizations and crazy beasts. And then at the end, the one returns to our Earth, and then he can't get back. Okay, so then the next book is called Pellucidar, and of course he's able to get back, and it's more along the lines of trying to tame the savages. It's like I said, these books are of their time, and there's so much wrong with them, but wow, there's so much right. Like, this was an adventurous romp, and it was an exciting listen, and I so enjoyed this second book. I would recommend, if you like adventure novels, like fun pulpy reads, you would enjoy this. But you have to get over the religion and the racism and the proselytizing, and you just kind of skim over all that stuff. Okay, on the way to San Francisco, I listened to this book in its entirety. So this is the second book in the Little House on the Prairie series, and it's called Farmer Boy. And I have to say that Cherry Jones is the narrator, and she does such a phenomenal job. She is so good. I loved this book. So this shifts the perspective to a different family, and it's more about a boy's what it's like for a boy living on the prairie. And it has a lot of the same elements. There's a lot of procedure in here. Like, it's showing children what it would be like to live daily on a farm, and like in order to make this or do this chore, the author explains all that. So in that sense, it's really geared for children to try to help them understand, but it helped me understand it too. I mean, I think this is a very well written book. It's fun. You really get a sense of what it might be like, although I understand these books are very sugar coated. Like, they don't really talk about some of the dark elements. I mean, why would they? It's a children's book. Okay, so it's very distorted in that sense. It's more like, what would you say? It's more like an idealized version of being a pilgrim. Not a pilgrim. Sorry, a farmer. At that time. What do you call the people who went across? Homesteaders? Is that what they were called? I don't. Yeah, my bad history. But I love that book. This series is really, really interesting to me. Okay, so John Fosse. I did that on purpose. I want Morton Assad to like get angry with me. John Fosse, he won the Nobel Prize of Literature. I believe his name is John Fosse or something like that. Like I don't know how to pronounce it, but his name is John Fosse. So he put out a septology in Norway, and it's written in Norwegian. And the first, there's in America, it was released as 3 books. So each book has a bunch of parts. So for example, this one has parts 1 and 2, and it's called The Other Name. Now, Judy, if you're listening to this, you might want to skip, because I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to talk about the style. But since you already started reading the book, you're already familiar with what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that this was weird to get used to, but very, very good. So what he does at the beginning is he kind of, you don't understand, like he's switching points of view a lot. And if you finally, it kind of clicks, like this is a man, an older man who is going through his day. Each part takes place, I think, between like waking and sleeping kind of thing. And so he's going through his day, and as he's remembering things, it's almost like he has Alzheimer's. It's like he is transported and he becomes it again. And he like starts reliving it as like I would imagine if someone who has Alzheimer's and they think they're with their relatives from a long time ago. Like I'm wondering if he's trying to capture that kind of mindset. But there's one thing about this that drove me nuts. There's a stylistic element that I dislike. I'm getting used to it, but he uses the word say over and over and think over and over and over. And it would be like something like, do you want to go to the store? He said, yeah. She said, okay, well then let's go. He said, well, I don't know. I still have to do the dishes. She said, you get the point, right? And it goes on, and just like that. He said, she said, and I was just like, God, make it stop. And then he uses the word think a lot. Now, he's doing it, it was interesting because he uses the word think in the literal sense. He would like, oh, I saw the girl down by the shore, I think. And it doesn't mean like maybe. In this sense, it means the thought was going through my head. And so I had to adjust to that, because every time, like when I say I think, it means maybe. But he's writing it the literal way. I don't know, but he says over and over again. If you can get past that, and they're also very repetitive because it's about memory. And he will remember something over and over again, and then later it'll approach the same memory from like a slightly different angle. And I think by the end of the whole 7, we're going to get a picture of this guy's life. I'm going to say it's pretty fascinating so far. I'm actually in the middle of the second book right now, but I did finish this. And if anything that I said to you is appealing to you, I would highly recommend you read these. He won the Nobel Prize, so he's worth checking out just for that. So yeah, The Other Name. I don't know if I talked about this, but I did finish Gideon the Ninth. I may have talked about this. I have the second book. The third book is the one nominated for the Hugo, and these books are so long, but what a cool cover that is, right? This is set in a world where there are 9 houses, and the 9 houses are all brought together to perform some ceremony, and it almost becomes like a Hunger Games type thing. Like the one who can win the ceremony moves up to a higher level of magicianship type of thing, and there aren't any rules, and so some of them interpret the rules as we can kill the other people, and they have to gather these keys. Each of them were given a key ring, and as they get keys, they open different parts of this giant like castle they're in, and so they want, some of them start killing each other to get keys, and it's overlong, but it's not bad. And I'm going to say that I did find it interesting, and I am looking forward to listening to the next one. But do I think like it's like amazing, like the most amazing sci-fi? No, I just think it was fun. It was good. So yeah, like I'm gonna go on to the second one, and the third, hopefully before the Hugos come out. All right, I think that was it. Let me see. I'm scrolling. Yeah. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the movie that I watched, which was Pet Sematary Bloodlines. Now, I'm not sure if it seems like I talked about this before, so if I did, I'm sorry about that. This movie stunk. It was so bad. And I was surprised because it has so many, like, famous faces, famous people in it. Yeah, I can't recommend it. I mean, it would be good just to, like, put it on and kind of laugh at it. It's not, like, I won't say it's horrible. It's like very run-of-the-mill type horror movie sequel kind of thing. But like the redeeming quality is you're going to be recognizing all these actors and wondering, like, they must have had a huge budget to like hire these people to be in this movie. But unfortunately, they didn't have the script to match it. And I think that's gonna be it for my Friday night chat. So yeah, I went over. It's 36 minutes already. I kind of, like I said, I kind of combined like a haul video and something I got in the mail with my Friday night chats. If you don't like that aspect of this, I'm sorry. I won't do that often. So I hope that you did stick around to the end. And I wish everyone a great weekend. I know I'm going to be just relaxing, watching some shows. Oh yeah, I actually finished a show this week, which was the second season of Foundation, and I really, really recommend it. The first season was amazing. The second season builds on it, and I think they're doing such a great job. So the second season is done. I finished it. And I really recommend that. If you like sci-fi, you have to watch Foundation. So everybody have a great weekend. And again, next weekend is almost Halloween. Wow. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you for all the support.